Welcome to Thoroughbred Action at Gulfstream Park. Brian Nato with you as we wrap up a 3-day race week. A lot of big action going on here in Hollandale Beach. 9 of them for you on Sunday today. 2 really good maiden special weights, and of course the big news, the Rainbow Six in race number 4, $100,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee.
Temperatures in the lower 80s, winds out of the northeast at 11 miles an hour, and the track condition for the main track is fast. There are no changes in race number 1, which kicks off the early 50-cent pick 5. Race 1 is clear. And they're off and running in a good start. And from the center, Wonderful Venezuela flashes early speed. Also Cajun Anthem away quickly. And those two will battle for the lead into the first turn. As they make their way around the first turn, it is Cajun Anthem up on the outside of Wonderful Venezuela. Then toward the inside, we have Tourist Style. In between horses, Fumble Ruski is right there. And out wide, moving up now, here comes Spanish Girl. The top 5 are tightly packed. And, in fact, the entire group pretty well bunched here as they head on to the backstretch after the opening quarter in 25 seconds flat. It is Cajun Anthem with command. Now Fumble Ruski has a clear second spot as out in the center of the track, Spanish Girl is third. Then toward the inside, Wonderful Venezuela from fourth. Still out wide from fifth is Dreamy. Then we have Red Sun Dress, and we come back to the trailers in the field, Tourist Style and Maelstrom Spirit. They race down the back stretch and complete the half a mile. They'll be headed for the far turn, and up front toward the inside, Fumble Ruski is battling with Cajun Anthem. The halftime was in 50 3/5. Swinging on to the far turn, and Cajun Anthem now takes the lead on the outside. Dreamy comes after the new leader, then toward the inside, Fumble Ruski. Out wide, here comes Red Sundress with a run. Red Sundress is coming right up after the leaders. Then in the center of the track, we have Spanish Girl. Further back to the outside, tacking on is Tourist Style, and Wonderful Venezuela trying to find a seam as well, and at the back is Maelstrom Spirit. 3/4 in 1:15 3, and they turn for home, and Red Sundress has taken the lead. Red Sundress is now the one to catch as they come inside the final furlong on the far outside. Here comes Tourist Style from the back of the pack looking for the second spot, but nobody's catching Red Sundress today. Red Sundress runs away late to win it by about 3 lengths over Tourist Style second. Then we had Spanish Girl third, followed in by Wonderful Venezuela and Dreamy. 144 and 2. And they're off and running to a perfect line. It's Confer and our Awesome Sauce. They leave together from the inside with speed, and the favorite Chaina from the outside drives up now to challenge for that lead. As they race into the turn, Chaina quickly drives up and crosses over and clears to the lead as they round the turn. Our Awesome Sauce toward the inside is second. Up on the outside, Kilkenny Bella is in the hunt from third position between horses. A close-up fourth is Confer. Length back in fifth position, but close off of the speed is Grandma's Pudding. And we come back a few lengths to Never So Lucky, and at the back of the pack, Neo Gem, as they swing on to the back stretch and complete the opening quarter in 24 3. Chaina has the lead by about a half a length. On the outside, Kilkenny Bella is applying pressure from second. Right there toward the inside is our Awesome Sauce along the fence in third position. Outside of our Awesome Sauce is Confer, who's a very close-up fourth. Also close to the speed still is Grandma's Pudding as they race down the backstretch past the half a mile in 50 3/5, and they head for the far turn. Chaina is going to try and take them all the way for Edgar Perez. On the outside, Kilkenny Bella continues to pressure the leader. Our Awesome Sauce toward the inside. Confer has been very close throughout. And now from between horses, Neo Gem is tacking on quickly and comes up into the mix. And then it's Grandma's Pudding, who's still close. Gapping out at the back is Never So Lucky as they race around the turn past the quarter bowl. 3/4 time was 1:15 3, and they arrive at the top of the stretch. Plenty of challenges for Chaina, and on the outside, Confer, and on the wide side, here comes Neo Gem. Down the center, Neo Gem is charging hard to take the lead from Confer, but here comes Grandma's Pudding on the outside, who's closing well, but Neo Gem has it near the wire, and Neo Gem will go on to victory for Miguel Vasquez. Neo Gem wins it. Going to be very tight for second there. Grandma's Pudding trying to get second. Confer right there in that photo for second and third, but it was Neo Gem in 1:45 and 3.
Top by 3, by 4, and moving away.
And they're off and running. A pretty uneventful start. And from the outside, we have speed from Millie Jean. Millie Jean is away quickly. But now from the inside, Abby's Plaid now punches through with good early speed. And Abby's Plaid is up to take the lead from Millie Jean. And Juliet's Rose is up on the tempo early as well as they join up with the main track and race down the backstretch. Headed for the opening quarter. And we have a battle for the lead with Abby's Plaid and Juliet's Rose. Millie Jean is still right up there, close in third position with Divine on the outside. About 3.5 lengths off the lead is Divine right now from fourth. In between horses from fifth, we have Searchy, then toward the inside Vibing. Outside of them is Silly Lily as they round the turn and make their way toward the backstretch, rather toward the top of the home stretch. Abby's Plaid and Juliet's Rose continue to go at it. 2 lengths back to Millie Jean now in third. Divine still has about 5 lengths to make up from fourth. And then we have Searchy toward the back of the pack with Silly Lily as they arrive at the top of the stretch. The half a mile was in 46 seconds flat. Now Juliet's Rose is right up alongside Abby's Plaid to take the lead. Juliet's Rose inside the final furlong now starts to take off for the wire. Abby's Plaid is back to second. Millie Jean on the outside is third, but it's Juliet's Rose and Leonel Reyes to win it. Juliet's Rose wins it over Abby's Plaid second. Then we had Millie Jean further back to Vibing and Divine in 1:17 and 3. And they're off and running. Slow away out of the gate was number 1, Ember. The rest of them lined up right across the track here and battling for the early lead. From between horses, Gonna Be Epic has speed. And then outside of that is Keanu and further out to 40 Flash. Those three right across the track and they battle for the lead with Mannix toward the inside. They round the turn and head for the backstretch. Keanu takes a short lead and on the outside 40 Flash is up to challenge. Mannix is right there in the third position. Up on the outside, wide and coming on from fourth is Montana Man. Then toward the inside we have Emergency Response, and then we come back to Gonna Be Epic, and the trailers in the field include Make Decisions and Ember. The opening quarter was in 24 and 2. They settle into the backstretch run. It's a short lead for Keanu on the inside. Pressing the tempo on the outside is 40 Flash. Those two are right together, and 40 Flash now sticks a nose on top midway down the backstretch as they approach the half mile, and it's 40 Flash and still going at it here as they race toward the far turn. 40 Flash on the outside still going at it with Keanu as Montana Man on the outside advances to third. Mannix is now fourth. Dropping back from fifth is Emergency Response. Make Decisions starting to make up some ground from sixth position on the outside. Then we come back to Gonna Be Epic and Ember. The halftime was 49 and 1. They race around the far turn headed toward the top of the stretch and nearing the quarter pole. 40 Flash with a short lead, but now it's Montana Man who takes over, and here comes Make Decisions looming large up on the outside. Make Decisions is coming on for a part of the lead as they straighten away for home. home. Make Decisions with a nose on top. Mannix toward the inside, fights on. Then Montana Man is back to third. Late on the scene is Ember from the back of the pack. Make Decisions with a short lead coming to the wire. Mannix fights on, but it's Make Decisions and Amisao Jaramillo to win it. Over Mannix home second, Montana Man third. Then we had Ember and well back to Gonna Be Epic. The time was 1:44.1. And they're off and running, and a pretty good start here. The Myth is out quickly, challenging for the early lead. Out from the center, here comes Flower Mound, and toward the inside, Joyful Lass is in the top three as they make their way and bend into that first turn. And in between horses, Sadie the Goat is out in the center of the track in fourth position. Out wide next from fifth is Majestic Venezuela, about 4 lengths off the early lead. Then toward the inside, we have My Girl Stormy, and in between horses, also coming on is Broken Banker. Further back in the field, toward the outside, we have Spun for Fun. Inside against the rail is Goats on a Tree. Down the back stretch, as they make their way past the opening quarter, A Palace for Mom toward the back of the pack, 24-1 for the opening quarter. They race midway down the back stretch now and settle into the backstretch run, and Flower Mound shows the way. It's 7-1 on the board, has the lead over the Myth on the outside, who's running from second position as they make their way now down toward the far turn. Up on the outside, now showing in third is Joyful Lass. Then it's a Sadie the Goat toward the inside in fourth, and right along the fence is Broken Banker from fifth position as they make their way around the turn. And surging now between horses comes A Palace for Mom, and out wide Majestic Venezuela is starting to come quickly. The halftime was in 48-2. A big log jam here as they arrive near the quarter pole. Up on the outside, Joyful Lass is trying for the lead. Still fighting on is the Myth. Also toward the inside, Flower Mound and Majestic Venezuela. Majestic Venezuela down the center now takes the lead. Majestic Venezuela has taken command. Goats on a Tree now shakes free on the outside and comes after Majestic Venezuela as they come down to the line. Majestic Venezuela, Goats on a Tree, and Edgard Zayas on the outside fighting hard. Goats on a Tree gets up to win it over Majestic Venezuela. Them very tight for third between Spun for Fun and Sadie the Goat, and further back to Joyful Lass in 1:42.4. And they're off and running, and a pretty good start. And from the center of the pack, Grand McAllen has early speed, and also punching through now is Eternal Flame to contest the early lead. Out wide coming on and showing some early speed, Midnight Getaway, and further to the outside, Major King also shows early speed. Toward the inside, Fort Attitude, and then we have Federal Exchange. Those are the top 5 or 6 here as they battle down the backstretch through the opening quarter. And it is Grand McAllen who has a short lead from Eternal Flame, who continues to fight on the inside. Then Fort Attitude emerges from third. And then between horses, we have Midnight Getaway outside Major King. Then we come back to Nature Boy and Federal Exchange as they make their way onto the far turn. Shastry toward the back of the pack. The opening quarter was 23-1, rounding the far turn near the quarter pole, headed toward the top of the stretch, and Eternal Flame has the lead now as Fort Attitude comes on the outside to challenge. Midnight Getaway shows in the center of the track in third position as they turn for home. It's Eternal Flame with command. Fort Attitude on the outside, still trying toward the inside. Nature Boy is coming on to battle for third with Midnight Getaway, but deep in the lane inside the final 16th, it's all Eternal Flame. Very game here today. Eternal Flame will win it. Eternal Flame won it by about 2 lengths over Fort Attitude second. Shastry rallied late for third over Midnight Getaway. And Nature Boy, time was 1:18-2. And they're off and sprinting. They got away in a pretty good line. From the center, fast away is Bedrock Birdie. Up on the outside, showing speed are both Heaven in Mind and Derby Gift. They line up right across the track here, and Anna Julia Forever has speed from the inside as well, and punches through now. Anna Julia Forever comes on now to take the lead. Bedrock Birdie between horses is running from second. Up on the outside, Heaven in Mind from third. Toward the inside, Party Pleaser, and out wide, Derby Gift. Those are the top 5. And then we come back to Katie Kate and Chilling Factor, who is the trailer. It's only about 4.5, 5 lengths covering the entire field. Opening quarter was 22-1. They start to stack up as they near the quarter pole and get set to turn for home. Anna Julia Forever has a short lead. Anna Julia Forever on the inside of Bedrock Birdie, and here on the outside comes Katie Cade with Miguel Vasquez coming into the race as they come down inside the final 16th now, and it's Bedrock Birdie with the lead. Katie Cade is coming on to challenge for second with Anna Julia Forever, but it's Bedrock Birdie to win it. Bedrock Birdie does it. Over Katie Kate second, Anna Julia Forever home third, then Party Pleaser, and further back to Heaven in Mind, the time 57-2.
They're off.
Off and running in a perfect line here as they get set to sprint here, and Extendo shows some early speed, also highly flammable. Japard toward the inside, start on a high note, showing some early speed with Japard. Those two fast away, and out in the center Extendo, and toward the inside highly flammable. Those are the top 4 as they race down the backstretch and bend onto the far turn with Loyal Louis next, and the trailer back a few lengths is Regal toward the back of the pack. The opening quarter was 22-2, and they race around the far turn and start on a high note, and Skylar Spanabel to the lead. On the inside, Japard continues to fight on. In between horses, here comes Highly Flammable, and up on the outside, Extendo. All of them in with a chance here as they turn for home, and it is the one to catch is still start on a high note, but here comes Extendo now, really running on the outside. Down the center, Extendo takes the lead as they come in the final 16th of a mile, and it is Extendo. Extendo goes on to deliver as the favorite. Highly Flammable second, tight there for third between Loyal Louis and Start on a High Note. Time was 1:03-3. And they're off and sprinting. And Game Boy Benny from the outside is flashing early speed from the center. Cross Haste is also quickly away. In between horses, the Distractor is also up in the firing line. Spankster as well. They line up right across the track here in a big battle for the early command as they race down the backstretch and head for the opening quarter mark. And it's the Distractor who now emerges with the lead. Toward the inside, Yes, I'm a Beast now shows in second. From between horses, Spankster third. Out wide from fourth is Game Boy Benny, but right there as well from fifth is Cross Haste. And the trailer is Figuretti. The opening quarter was 23 seconds flat. They race on the far turn and make their way toward the quarter pole. And the Distractor is opened up a 2.5 length lead. Toward the inside, Yes, I'm a Beast still fighting on. On the outside is Game Boy Benny. Then toward the inside, we have Cross Haste, Figuretti starting to close in from the back. And now the trailer is Spankster. But as they turn for home, they have to try and catch the Distractor. The half a mile was in 45 and 4. The Distractor has the lead by 2 lengths. Yes, I'm a Beast giving chase from second, but the Distractor is back. The Distractor will win it. Yes, I'm a Beast home second, and Game Boy Benny followed in by Cross Haste and Figuretti. The Distractor delivers 110 and 2.
And that's a wrap on the 9-race Sunday card. We'll be back with you next Friday. We've got 9 of them for you, and the big news here is we're going to revert back to the 12:10 first post with daylight savings time upon us. 12:10 first post now in the foreseeable future. Hope to see you out here at beautiful Gulfstream Park.